Framing Britney Spears clearly has Jamie Spears scrambling, trying to smooth things over publicly as more and more people join the Free Britney movement.
Yeah, so take a look at this clip from Framing Britney Spears featuring lawyer Vivian explaining the tough constraints of a conservatorship.
If there is a conservatorship proceeding and the proposed conservatee at some point consents, the conservatee can't wake up one morning and say, I don't need this, I don't want it, make it go away. A petition would have to be filed. A petition to terminate the conservatorship. And then there's got to be evidence or some demonstration that a conservatorship is not necessary at that point in time. It's the conservatee who has the burden of saying, I don't need a conservatorship anymore, and here's why.
Have you ever known anyone who has terminated a conservatorship?
Of the cases that I've been involved in, I have not seen a conservatee who has successfully terminated a conservatorship.
So Vivian is now the one doing PR for Jamie. She was on Good Morning America today trying to assure the public that Jamie is still acting in Britney's best interest.
Throughout 2020, Britney and her father had many conversations. And in fact, early on in the pandemic, they spent 2 weeks with other family members, hunkered down in Louisiana. Britney and Jamie went on long drives together. They played and worked in the family garden. And every night, Jamie cooked Southern comfort food that the family ate and enjoyed together. And in that time, Britney never expressed those words to her father. She's never asked him to step aside. Jamie loves his daughter. And like any other family, issues come up from time to time. This in no way takes away from the love and support that they have for each other. Britney knows that her daddy loves her. And she knows that she can call on him anytime, conservatorship or not.
Vivian, it is difficult to understand then why Britney's lawyer actually took it a step further and said that Britney was scared of her father, scared of Jamie. Does Jamie have any idea why that statement would be made?
In the many conversations that Jamie and Britney had throughout 2020, Britney never said those things to Jamie. She never asked him to step aside.
Britney put this all to an end right now. If she said, hey guys, everything's cool, I don't need to be freed, I'm living my life the way I want to live it, and I've got people around me who are guiding me. Why wouldn't she just put that out there on social media?
You'll have to ask Britney.
All right, Jeff says Jamie Spears did make his case with this interview. Vivian says liar, liar, pants on fire. Coach says something in this isn't adding up. MF says the birds in the background make this weirder. I found this so incredibly creepy, Roz. What were your thoughts on that interview?
Yeah. Geez, I don't think that you can say, hey, this couple of weeks they were together, because this is something that's now been going on for a long time. And I think that if Britney wanted to get out of it, she probably feels that she's exhausted everything that she has in her to try and fight her father on this. So to sort of say that they have a normal relationship where they can work in the garden, that doesn't surprise me at all. But I want to know about all those other times. Britney's boyfriend, paparazzi caught up with him not that long after the documentary came out. And he said that Jamie was the D word. And again, Britney hasn't come out to say, guys, I don't need freeing, everything is good. There's so many points, within all of this, but the idea that you can go on TV and say that their relationship is fine, to me, just leads more fuel to the fire of the Free Britney, because now you start getting the sense that she's given up, that there is no talking to her father about this.
Yeah, this one is so incredibly frustrating, just because Vivian clearly stated on that documentary that she has never seen a successful case where the conservatee got out of the conservatorship. And to me, when I hear that, that means that you are so good at what you are doing that you're able to silence the conservatee. That's all I heard. And I don't know if Jamie heard that or if she called Jamie, but for him now to bring her on board and her to take it is insane to me. She's clearly being paid by Britney. We know that. And what bothers me about this whole situation is, like, if you're going to do an interview and just read notes that you have on your laptop and not actually answer the questions, but just read notes? Then why didn't you just write a statement? Why are you sitting there literally reading a statement that's handcrafted that literally doesn't make any sense? It makes me crazy that she said, ask Britney. Like, as if Britney can so freely speak. That is the issue that we have at Ask Britney. What? The audacity of her to even say that is very frustrating to me. Obviously, these conservatorships are based on money. She's clearly making money. She's scripted. She's not responding directly. And I don't respect this at all. I can't even believe that she's sitting there and even saying any of this. And also, who's telling a parent that they're scared of that they're scared? Who's doing that? Right. Do we really see Britney as the type of person that's going to stand up to her? She looks like the sweetest, kindest human being. I just don't see it. I totally can see her hanging out with her family, like everything's normal, brushing it under the rug, and then having to go back to her lawyer and saying, can you please defend me? Of course, you can see it. You can see that in all of this. So very annoying, her responses. Very infuriating.
Yeah, Marv says, the issue is the world doesn't know how she's doing. Like, is she okay? It comes across as she's very caged. I just found the interview in general. I mean, the whole idea was this, obviously, that, Jamie Spears is feeling the heat. We need to get out in public and say something to smooth things over. That's what you did. Like you said, Keisha, she was so rehearsed. I know she's a lawyer, so she's very careful in the words that she's choosing, but it came off as so robotic, so calculated. Even her voice, her tone just sounded like some sci-fi movie. It sounded so odd. So as a PR move, it was just terrible. Like, you didn't move the dial at all with this. Like, you had to come across at least a little bit warm and at least a little bit caring, at least a little bit like engaged. It just became across as so like, I am a lawyer and I am going to talk about Jamie Spears. And when she says, Daddy loves her. What the hell is this? Like, it was so creepy. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. Like, so yeah, even beyond the words she said, just the tone and how it came across was just, yeah, it just goes along with this idea of like this manipulation going on.
Yeah. And I think that if she had a point to make, which was, there was no attempt to even say, I've had a conversation with Britney. I've talked to Britney about this. I've heard from Jamie that this is what he and Britney discussed. There's none of that. And as his lawyer, that to me was incredibly shocking, that her only anecdotal evidence was them working in the garden. There was nothing of this is stuff that they've talked about. They've gone over this. It was as if it didn't exist. And I think that that's the most insulting thing, because Britney's her lawyers are still in court and they're still fighting. And then she goes on television to pretend like there's absolutely no issue. Well, that's just not the case.